Welcome to Pedals and Stuff. Today I thought I would have a little chat about pedal switches. So you probably recognise this one. This is a Gig Rig Quartermaster 6 switches on it, 6 options to switch between beautiful things that we all love. Now you must have been living under a fairly big rock if you don't know who the Gig Rig are. The pedal show, I'm sure you all watch it as much as I do. So cool, so good, love it. But you know, when you watch these YouTube vids, you know, you can't help but either be quite interested already in what you're looking at, because that's why you're watching them, or to be kind of drawn in and want to check out new things. And I think that a lot of the videos that the Gig Rig does, or more to the point, the pedal show does, kind of synonymous in some ways, aren't they? They kind of use a lot of the Gig Rig products, so we get drawn into trying to use them and checking them out and wanting them. Now this isn't anything negative about their stuff or about them. I think they're absolutely amazing, and I have bought this myself, so I fall into the same category as the rest of you, and I wanted to check out what it was going to be like. Because like I say, it's only for 6 pedals, really. We can utilise it slightly differently and use more pedals if you want to double them up, but the point is I wanted to kind of check out whether or not switches, in general, really, were worth having on my board. So what reasons have we got to use a switcher? You know, the obvious one, and the one we keep kind of hearing, is that it improves our signal because it will bypass all of those pedals that we're not utilising right at that moment in time. So instead of going through 6 or 7 pedals, we're just going through that one drive pedal, for example, that we want to get the tone out of at that time. And that's a really cool thing, 'cause it means we just avoid all that extra circuitry and we're shortening our signal path. You know, there are other reasons for doing it, and one of them is, as I already mentioned, you know, you might want 2 pedals. So for example, I'll always use, or I love to use, filaments set up for a solo tone with my little Echo Baby, and I'll set that for just a short slap back. But I quite like being able to just turn them on with one switch instead of a bit of tap dancing between the two, turning one on, turning another on. I can just hit a foot switch on the Quartermaster there on my switcher and have them both in the same loop. So boom, there you go, sorted. No more tap dancing, or at least less of it. The other thing that's really cool on these ones in particular is they've got the buttons here that you can press in, so you can see those in between here. Yeah, there we go, there's one. Press those in and then the switches can act like a flip-flop, so you can actually switch between them with just one press. So yeah, some pretty cool features and some nice stuff you can do. But the question really, for me, is apart from the tap dancing aspect, and if you want to avoid doing too much of that, then you know you're going to need some kind of switching systems. So apart from those aspects and actually the utility, the function of the switcher, thinking about the tone, is it really worth having one? Does it make such a difference going through 6 pedals and patch cables and so on, as opposed to just bypassing all those when you're just using your single loop on your foot switch here? Right, so what I'm going to do is, I've got a setup here which is pretty typical. It's a little bit messy and it's got some nice pedals in it, but I've got 5 or 6 pedals all in a row, linked together with cables obviously, flowing straight through to my amp, and then I'm going to set up the same pedals in the foot switcher, and we're going to see if the tone changes in any way or if it's discernible over there in YouTube land, because you may not really hear much of a difference, but hopefully I will. And just see if it's quieter, noisier, any tone changes. Alright, let's get on with it. And there we go. So, do you need a switcher system? Obviously, yes, all up to you. Only you can answer that, and it will depend on how you want to use one, really. Now, do you want to be able to use 2 or more pedals just by hitting a single foot switch? Then, yeah, the utility's there, and a foot switching system is the way to go with that. Something like this. There are many others on the market that will do that job and are great as well. If you're after one just because you want to make sure you've got the most direct signal you can have using a pedal board with lots of pedals on it, and you think that's going to improve your tone, again, that's only up to you. You can answer that question. We are all seeking the perfect tone. We've got in our heads, and that differs, I think, from person to person. Everybody's got a different view on things like that. Yeah, I would love to hear, though, from you guys if you use switcher systems, how you use them, what you think about them. Do you think they improve your tone, or is it just a utility thing? All right, leave comments, because we can all learn from that, and we can all kind of join in the debate and try to find that perfect sound that we really are looking for. Thanks for watching. This is Pedals and Stuff. Take care. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. See you soon.